This morning, we're taking a closer look at trends of coronavirus by the numbers.
Joining us right now live via Zoom call this morning is David Marconnet with BamaTracker. David, welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
Let's start with the largest county in North Alabama, Madison. What are the case trends showing you right now?
Well, there's a lot of new cases happening for sure. As you mentioned just a minute ago, the 7-day average is the second highest in the state. And there's been a lot of growth in new cases just recently in Madison County.
David, Madison leaders pointed, of course, to tomorrow and Wednesday. They said that should be the time that we could start seeing some effects of that county mandatory mask policy. What do you think we'll be seeing?
I do think it's possible we see some effects of that. We had some really high days about a week ago, and then we've had some consistently high days since then, but not as high. So it's very possible we see the trend to continue to come down this week. I really hope we do.
It's been just over 2 weeks, really, since the 4th of July weekend where more people were wandering out, gathering out in public. When you look at the 14-day case rate now, what do you see here?
It's still pretty high across North Alabama, especially, and the whole state in a lot of different places. I think we're maybe just another week or so out from seeing some decline, if we're going to see it from mask wearing. Probably a little bit more than that even. But it's still pretty high from where it was 2 weeks ago.
So do you think that this spike that we see right there on that graphic, do you think it is directly attributed to the 4th of July gatherings?
I don't know. I mean, it is very possible. There wasn't quite as drastic of a spike after Memorial Day. So we're seeing, a much higher rate of new cases ever since the 4th. So it is possible that it could be related to that.
David, here's one of the big indicators, as you know, when it comes to the confirmed hospitalizations. So what's your big takeaway there as you've been noticing those trends?
Well, they're shooting up way faster than we want them to. The hospitalizations continues to hit a new record almost every day. Even over the weekend, there was an increase overall versus a decrease, and usually you'll see it drop some because hospitals don't report. I think the big takeaway is this is serious, and we've got to be wearing our masks and do what we can to get around safely.
The death rate, that's another number, another area that's gotten a lot of people's attention, especially yours. What's the trend here when it comes to deaths in Alabama?
Yeah, it's another case of seeing an increase from where we were a few weeks ago. There was a few record days last week, so it brought the 7-day average up higher than it has been. It'll be very interesting to see if that continues this week, especially just because we had seen pretty steady numbers there, and then just last week we started seeing things increase more than they have been.
Well, when we talk about a lot of the hot spots, all across the state, and you've been pinpointing them on BamaTracker, it took the governor last week to come out with the statewide mask ordinance. When do you think, David, that we'll start seeing some effects of that statewide, not only just in North Alabama?
Right. I think you're a few weeks from that, at least since it just started, we're going to be running to the end of this month with the statewide ordinance. If everyone complies with it, I think we could see into early August some decline.
Early August and decline, and guess what's happening about that time? School openings. All right, so we'll keep a close watch on that. We'll have you back, David Marconnet with BamaTracker. Thank you so much again for joining us on the show this morning.
Thanks a lot.
Time now 6:10 on your Monday morning.